Hey there, Clone Club. Mark Decote here from the Orphan Black podcast by Solo Talk Media, and this is my double take for the Orphan Black episode that aired June 14th, 2014 here in North America, entitled Things Which Have Never Yet Been Done. This was a much better episode, in my opinion, than last week's. A lot of stuff happening, but we can expect that. This is the penultimate episode. Next week is the finale, so they're gearing us up. They're preparing us for next week's episode, which is going to be the big cliffhanger. Or at least I presume so. The way season 1 ended, we expect season 2 to have a big cliffhanger. So, as always, I'm going to be talking lots and lots about this episode in my podcast later this week. And this double take is to offer you some questions. If you want to submit feedback to me and you want an idea of some stuff to talk about, well, here are some ideas. My first question for this week. We saw what happened with Helena and with Henrik and with Gracie and all that. We saw Gracie and Mark escape. We know that Gracie's mom was out recruiting some other people, so she wasn't at the farm. And Helena escapes and burns the place down. So my question this week is, have we seen the last of the Proletheans? Is that it for them? I presume from what we saw that Henrik is dead and most of the brood there is dead. Is her mother going to play a part? Is Mark and Gracie, is that it? Have we seen the end of them? What do you think? Have we seen the last of the Proletheans? Question 2 for this week. We saw Allison and Donnie really step up their game, and as we predicted, killing the family that kills together gets closer together, stays together, and that sure was the scene this week. Donnie and Allison really meshed well, and they came a lot closer. Now my question is, now that it has been exposed that they know that they're being watched by Angie and the cops, we saw Donnie, who somehow grew a backbone this week. He went in there and he threatened Angie to leave them alone. So my question is, question 2, will Angie back down? And a second part to this question, so maybe a 2B, is Vic done? Now that it's known that he's working with Angie and that they've been warned to back down, I mean, Angie can't really use him for information. So does that mean we've seen the last of Vic? And what's going to happen with Angie? Will she back down in her quest? And finally, actually not finally, because once again this week I will throw in one bonus question, but my third question for this week is, has Rachel lost it? She impersonated Sarah, which, once again, another clone. We're going to have a whole list of clones that are impersonating other clones. By the end of this series, once Orphan Black is done, we'll have a list a mile long of who's played who. But in this episode, we had Rachel, who portrayed Sarah, and she did a pretty good job of it. It's not something you would have expected of Rachel, the way she was all prim and proper to be able to pull off the Sarah, but she did it. But my question is has she lost it? She kidnapped Kira, brought her back, sets her up in this nice little room, and tells her that you might be happy here, that you are going to, I was able to do it, and now you'll be able to do it. You'll grow up happy in this environment. So, do you think Rachel has lost it? Is this sanctioned by Dyad, or is this Rachel on her own? So, anyways, that's my question. And a bonus question this week, because this is the penultimate episode of season 2, what do you think the big cliffhanger will be for next week's episode? How do you think they're going to finish the season? Last season was the big Kira was taken, and Mrs. S. We thought they had been kidnapped. We were left with Sarah wondering, screaming at the end of the episode a week before the finale, and Kira's been taken. So what do you think the big finale will be next week that'll leave us hanging for 10 months as we wait for season 3, which they still, as of this recording, have not announced a renewal. Now, I've said it in my podcast, they would be absolutely stupid. The ratings and everything for this show are through the roof, so they would be stupid if they did not renew it. But as of this date, June 14th, or actually at the time of my recording, we're now June 15th, I have not seen anywhere where they have announced and officially that they've renewed Orphan Black for a season 3. But it'll come. So anyways, Don't want this to go too long. Those are my 3 questions for this week. Have we seen the last of the Proletheans? Will Angie back down? And are we done with Vic? Has Rachel lost it? And the bonus question is, what do you think the big cliffhanger will be next week? So if you want to send me your thoughts on this, you don't have to answer my questions. Some people send in feedback, then they don't answer these questions. That's fine. I just want to hear from you. And so what you can do is you can send me an email, you can type it up, or you can send me an audio. Hint, hint, I do like the audio better. It goes a lot easier for me, but that's fine. I don't mind reading your stuff. Send it to me at feedback@solotalkmedia.com. You can call my voice feedback line at 1-805-910-7656 and leave me a message there. You can leave me something on Facebook at facebook.com/solotalkmedia. You can use the SpeakPipe widget, which is on my website. It's a little, when you go to the solotalkmedia.com, on the right-hand side of the page, there's a little leave voicemail tab. You click on that, use your computer's microphone to leave me a message, and it automatically gets emailed to me. So that's a very easy and free way to leave me your feedback. So that's how you can submit your stuff. 2 other things before I close this off. One, I really appreciate, I was reading through all the different reviews on iTunes and got some really nice, a lot of you are saying some really kind stuff about the podcast. I really appreciate it. If you haven't left a review on iTunes, I would love for you to head on over there. And as I said, if you don't want to type up a little message or anything, just give it a star rating. And whatever you think. Right now, they're all 5-star ratings. But if you don't want to leave a 5-star, that's fine. Just be honest, leave your rating. And if you want to leave a little paragraph or 2 of what you think, that would be great as well. And sorry, I said 2 things and I forgot what my last thing's going to be. Oh, yes, now I remember. If you are in the UK and you are listening or watching this on YouTube, I know you guys are behind the North America viewing. I would love to get your feedback. If you don't want to do it now, once you've seen the finale, send me your feedback. I will have already put out a feedback show or put out a podcast following the North America viewing. But if I get feedback from the UK viewers of Orphan Black, I will put out a special podcast just for you guys with your feedback on it. So I don't want you guys to lose out because you're a week or 2 behind what we are in North America. So anyways, that's it for my double take this week. Looking forward to talking about this Orphan Black episode in my podcast. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. Only 2 episodes left, or 1 episode of Orphan Black left, only 2 episodes of the podcast left. So get your feedback in. I'd want to hear from those who have submitted before, and I'd love to hear from some new people who have never submitted. So anyways, I'm cutting this off. So until next time, take care.